Takes a lot of getting used to. Should learn to live with it. But I don't want to be without you. It's all a big mistake.
Have you taken a look at the age analytics on your channel? And what does it tell you?
60,
Yeah.
white, dude. And at the show, it's couples. The wives are generally into it as much as the guys.
Yeah.
So I think the analytics is probably less split by gender. There's just probably who they're logged in as.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But it's all like grandpas bringing their family.
Yep.
Hey, you got to come hear this band at the you know, and the kids love it. Everybody loves it. I mean, don't get me wrong, they do.
Yeah.
But who's watching us on YouTube are 60-year-old guys that love the Eagles.
That is the vein. I mean, well, the same is true for my channel as well.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's our biggest. Man, our feedback is 98% positive.
Yeah.
We'll get a few knocks on some lead vocals, and it's like, well, yeah, I'm not Steve Perry. Thanks for pointing it out. Great, that's fine. But very rarely do we get any knocks. But it is our bread and butter is obviously guitar driven, you know, late 70s, early 80s. But so many. Well, me. I mean, I was born in 75, so I learned a lot of those tunes. I had older brothers, so I remember hearing like one of the reasons I love you know, the Doobie Brothers stuff is because that's what my brother was listening to when I was 3 and 4. The Police became my favorite band, but not because I was of the right age. It was because my next brother, that he listened to U2 and the Police. That's all I heard. Now, when I was in middle school and high school, it was Poison and Def Leppard and Motley Crue, and it was Nirvana and Soundgarden, and you know, those were the bands that I loved, right? And then you get Ryan, who's our main drummer, and he grew up in the 90s. So he's Chili Peppers and Tool and Dave Matthews Band, and right, all these things. And so he laughed. We were laughing. We actually were on a road trip a couple of weeks ago, and we were just talking about how we hit 100 million views, and he laughed. He said, even when we try and like destroy this thing by doing a Dave Matthews song that nobody wants to hear, you know, he's like, you're right. I said, we do, because we've done Soundgarden, and we've done Alice in Chains, and we've done Nirvana. You know, we've done these things, you know, that nobody wants to hear.
Yeah.
We did a Green Day song. Nobody wants to hear that, right?
Yeah.
But we wanted to play it.
Yes.
And he's like, you know, no matter how hard we try and throw songs out there just to tell people to stop listening, they don't. I'm like, I know. They just wait, because what they say, they love it. And they say, I can remember when I was driving my 79 Camaro down the dirt roads of Ohio, and I heard for the first time, you know, whatever, you know. And I'm like, yeah. And so our demographic is very generous to us to allow us to do songs a lot of times that they don't want to hear.
Right.
And they'll go, thanks for coming back to real music, or thanks, you know, those sort of things.
You'll get that.
But we're just going to do it. That's just who we are. That would be the only thing that I do or think about that isn't like, I'm not saying we're selfish in it, but too introspective, but most decisions we make are based on what we want to do and how we feel. But I do every once in a while go, okay, I've got to throw some red meat out there. Like we haven't done enough classic rock. Like we better get back to that, because if we don't do that, then we're doing our fans a disservice, you know? So, you know, there's a little bit of that. That's how I choose, because now we've done so many sessions that I'm backed up like 9 videos. And so I'm able to like mix, like leapfrog sessions. And so grab a song from this session and mix it, and then grab a song from the session before it, you know, and so I can kind of put them out in a way that isn't always, you know, all 90s or all pop or all country or all, you know. So.
Yeah, you've got choices. You could serve the meal in a certain way where it's like, okay.
But we do sometimes stray a little bit away from the classic rock.
But even
Where I'm
still,
like,
when you get back to classic rock, it's still a target-rich environment for you
yeah,
because
yeah,
then you've got so many songs that you could do that you
yeah,
love. So it's not like it's that
yeah.
much of a stretch for you. You're going to go, I'm
No,
still going to do a song I love,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So it's wild. It's a crazy kind of ship. It's very organic. It's very much, well, what's next? Like
Yeah.
what's going to happen? Like what should we do next? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's great that you've got 8 or 9, in the holding
yeah,
pen, it's like, okay, I got some choices. Instead of just like blasting it out and go, okay, we got to go shoot another one.
yeah,
That's a grind.
yeah,
So if you guys
yeah.
stack them up,
Yeah, and we don't release every week. We've never been able to. We can't keep up with that. Um, what I try and do is 20 to 25 a year. So every 2 to 3 weeks,
yeah,
you'll get a new one. But
yeah.
there's been, when we do the live show, you might not get a video for 6 weeks
Oh yeah.
because we're just tore up for this with the live show and all that. So it
To get
doesn't
people
seem.
coming after you when they haven't seen something for a
No,
while.
no,
Okay.
no, but they will say, "Oh, I've been waiting," but nobody like aggressive.
Yeah, just
I
about
think they
time.
all, I think they all get it. And again, we would be much more successful metrics wise if we did every week. And I get that. We totally understand that's how social media works, right? We get it. This isn't going to be any of our jobs, so we're not going, well, if we only get,
Yeah.
so right now we're averaging like 2.2 million a month
Hmm.
views.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
plenty. Like, that's fine. Now, if we released every week, yeah, it would probably jump up to 10 million a month. I'm sure,
Yeah,
something
but
crazy.
the quality suffers. I
But we're
mean,
not. But we're not.
not
We're
full
fine.
time. It's not full
We're
time.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a job, and it's just not a. It's not a job for us. It's totally a hobby, a labor of love. This is all volunteer. Everything about it is volunteer. Everything about it. Camera ops. Of course, I do all the back end stuff myself, but the musicians are getting paid. Like this isn't well, you played on this many videos, you get this much money. It's all, any revenue goes back into the project, goes back into gear. It's allowed us to have our own facility. So I'm sitting in the band's facility. It's a, it's a the control room's, I don't know, 20 by 30, and then we've got a 40 by 40 black room
Yeah, for
just over you.
to shoot in.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so we can afford it.
That's
Like
great.
we could afford to lease a space because again, there's so many people that have been involved and there's not that much revenue because it's cover songs. Like we don't own the publishing. So when it really became popular, it's like, well, okay, what are we going to do? Like we do Patreon and it's mildly successful. It's great. And we let them come watch. Like you can sign up and come see a filming because we got windows from the control room.
Oh, cool.
And so they come, people will travel from Ohio or Virginia to come watch a filming or different things. But so we put the money back into the rent and the gear to get it all done. And, if we need certain gear for different things. So it's just all volunteer. So it's just, that's the heartbeat of it. And if it became a business,
Yeah.
you would see the difference. You
Yeah.
wouldn't see, not that it's bad or good. I'm not, or, that's not what I'm saying, but it wouldn't be us. Like,
Yeah.
if it became that, then it's going to be the same 6 or 7 people every time, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to have to be there, and you'll just start to see it become a grind,
That
and that's
gets
just not what we are.
Yeah.
We're not a grind.
How do you guys deal with copyright issues or anything like that? Because you guys are so close to the
Yeah,
originals, man. I would guess that sometimes your
yeah,
songs get picked up and marked.
they do, they
Yeah.
do. Not every time. Almost always get identified as a cover without any question because we're used to, if you probably see the way it's tagged on YouTube by doing some of these, you'll see it tag and say this song uses this melody, and it does that, and that's typical. And so at that point they'll share. Sometimes they'll share the revenue with you, but they don't tell
Yeah.
you what the split is.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Google's taking 50.
You have
They're
no
taking they're
idea.
taking they're taking the next 45 and you're getting 5 or something, right?
Exactly.
Whatever. But you don't really know.
Exactly.
So almost always is a cover song. Usually they'll share the revenue with you, but again, I can't imagine the percentage wise it's much.
Yeah.
But we do get tagged once in a while as the original master.
Mm,
Like,
yep.
so I'm trying to think of a song that we put up recently that it was like,
Do you
this is the
actually get
song.
blocked or just copyright claimed?
Eagles and Bryan Adams will block it.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, Bryan Adams was like within like, and they're always, those are always manual reviews. Like they're looking for you.
they are. Yep.
Yeah.
I've
They're
heard about
looking
the
for you.
Eagles.
I hate that. I hate that.
I know. Wasn't
We
it
were able,
Don Henley uh also doing like
yeah. I don't understand it all. They've got
yeah.
guys searching because we had our Eagles tunes up for about 3 years. And then
Oh.
they found one manually, and it said this was manually reviewed and blocked, copyright
Oh.
strike. So I took all the other four down because you get three strikes
Yeah,
and you're
you're out.
gone.
I
So
know.
then over time, I'd like let one back out in the wild, right?
After the 90 days.
Yeah, and I'd let one more, and it would it last for 6 or 7 months, and I
Yeah.
put another one up, and then it would get taken down. So Bryan Adams was like the day up, but there's songs like, what did we just do that they thought was the master? We just released one. It might have been Melissa Etheridge. We did "I'm the Only One" by Melissa Etheridge, and I think it got tagged as the actual recording from her
Yeah.
album.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. So you can dispute that in good faith, and all I do is I send a note, and I got some coaching from a company on this. You just dispute it, and you say this video has been incorrectly claimed as the master recording of Melissa Etheridge. I'm the only one. We created all of the sound recording in this originally to us. Please release this claim. And they have 30 days to respond. And 9 out of 10 times they never respond, and it gets released. It gets released. 1 out of 10 times they come back and go, sorry, we don't agree with you. But they never block it. They just don't let you make any money.
Oh. Wow.
They just want the money.
Yeah.
So they can, even though it's not her recording, they can come back and say, nah, it is. Like the
Yeah.
only way to go against that is to get a lawyer.
Yeah.
Well,
you got to
we
go to
don't-
court for it.
we're not- I mean,
yeah,
we're
it's
not-
not worth it.
No, we don't have any copyright. Like I don't copyright these recordings.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I just put them on YouTube, and YouTube decides with the publishers, are we going to let this be out there?
Right.
And 98% are out there, except the Eagles and Bryan Adams.
So you probably stay away from anything like that.
I'll never
at this
do another
point.
Eagles song.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm so disgusted with them over that we don't even play them live. Like
Yeah.
we're not.
I hear you.
I I don't like it that much.
Yeah.
I don't. It's just sad. I mean, man, all we're doing for them is getting them new
I know.
fans.
I know you're paying homage to them, and you're
Yeah.
bringing awareness. I've had
Yeah.
the same experience myself, and I'm like, do you realize? I mean, like this one particular artist that I've only told people on Patreon because I don't
fine.
want to get
Yeah.
but I was like, do you realize, because it's an older musician who's very well known, that there's a whole nother generation or two who don't know who you are, and you're still active in music, but your audience is like shrinking. So it's like,
I
help
don't
me help you.
understand. I don't understand the Eagles. I watched Don speak to Congress, and I don't get it because they can take every cent of the ad money
Yeah.
on any of those covers.
Why
Why do they not want? Why do they not want people singing their songs?
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense.
I'm like, what? I don't. It's fine. I mean, they're right, I
Yep,
guess. But
yep.
but I'm like, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, you go back to like, people have said this about our channel. It's very like classically, like we take our cues from classical music. You put a Beethoven symphony
Right.
in front of an orchestra,
Right.
and they play it the same way it was played when it was written.
Yeah. Yeah.
The same notes.
Yep.
It's a cover. It's a cover,
It's a cover.
right?
It's true. It is.
Well, whoever owns the publishing of that, every time that gets played by a professional symphony,
Bing.
they get paid.
Yep.
So nobody's saying don't ever play Beethoven's Ninth again. We don't want you to play it. It's only for the real orchestra that did it originally. No.
We're dead.
So I don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
understand. I think it's very short-sighted by the Eagles and their management. Bryan Adams is the same. In fact, when I was, because again, we've got this like third party company that helps me with this YouTube stuff, and I always send them the video and our audio of it because they'll put it in the YouTube atmosphere so that we actually can say we have the sound recording. And I sent the Bryan Adams one in, and they emailed right back. They go, "This isn't going to make it. Like we'll put it. You can put it up, but it's not
Yeah.
going to make it."
Right.
And I was like,
right.
"Oh, it'll be fine. They
no.
won't find us." 15 minutes in, gone. Yeah.
They're just sitting there
So
waiting
yeah,
for it
it's
to go
sad.
up.
It's sad, I don't understand. So, yeah, we won't do another Bryan Adams song. And there's so many great Bryan Adams songs that I would love to do, but
Yeah, I
not
think
gonna
that,
happen.
I think it's generational. I think it's because they
Yeah.
come from an old school way of thinking about copyright and all of that kind of stuff. But the times have changed, with
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
that. And
I don't understand.
because all I mean, most of the younger groups, I mean, I'll get messages from the actual artists that say, this is awesome. I love the fact that you're playing this
Yeah,
and making people aware of it. And, I
yeah,
loved what you had to say about it. I can't
yeah,
wait to see more. So you got this
yeah,
guy saying that, then you got somebody else that says,
yeah.
you better take it down or I'm going to,
Makes no
file for a
sense.
copyright strike on you. I'm like, what?
It
Yeah.
makes no sense. I don't understand. Again, we're not trying to take money out of anybody's pocket.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
honestly trying to show them
Yeah.
some respect.
Yeah.
So much in our project, so much respect that we're trying to play it the way
Yeah.
they intended.
Yep.
We're not trying to make it our own. We're not trying to improve it.
Yeah.
Um,
Not
we're
claiming
not.
you wrote it, not claiming
No,
it's your
none of it.
song.
Like this is your masterpiece
Yeah.
that we're just recreating
Yeah.
out of respect for you and out
Yeah.
of the enjoyment that your song has brought to us.
Exactly.
So, if you're gonna be like that,
Yeah.
I'm not typically this way, but I was like, I'm just kind of over the Eagles. I
Yeah.
don't.
A
I'm just
lot of
gonna turn.
people are.
I'm just gonna turn the channel. I went. It's funny. I actually saw them 2 years ago here in town because Steely Dan was supposed to open. Well, maybe last year even. Steely Dan was supposed to open, and so I was like, oh, I'll go. I'll go. I don't really want to see the Eagles, but Steely Dan's opening, so I'll
Yeah.
go. And Fagan got sick, so we got the Doobie Brothers, which was still great.
Oh.
But I did have to sit through the Eagles because the guy that I went with was a big Eagles fan. But
You're
so
cursing
I
under
can't
your
tell a
breath.
lie. I can't tell a lie. I did go see him in the last year, but I didn't do it intentionally.
It was accidental. Oh man. Well, I was
Yeah,
wondering what some of your favorites are that you've done, like if
yeah,
there are any that really
yeah.
stand out for you.
Yeah, the way I would answer that is if you haven't seen us or you've just seen a few videos, I would just say, here's some videos you should go watch. I don't know if they're my favorites, but I think they're our best. Walking in Memphis, Mark Cohn, you need to go watch that. Benji, who sang Minute by Minute,
Yeah,
and
yep,
he does Walking in
Michael.
Memphis,
Yeah.
and it is. I mean, outside of Mark Cohn, it was meant for Benji. I mean,
Wow.
we filmed that at Sweetwater
Oh,
Studios.
wow, cool.
They let us come up and we did 4 videos up there for our 10th anniversary.
Oh,
We redid Barracuda. You should go watch that one
oh,
because you've got Jessica in 2023
yeah,
singing Heart Stuff better than she even sang it in 2015 when you saw Magic Man. I mean,
really?
she's just improved. But I mean, she was great at there too. But so,
Yeah.
anyways, go watch. Walking in Memphis would be one you need to watch. Um, I would say you should watch something with Roger, whether it's Stranglehold
Hmm.
or he played all the Zeppelin tunes. We did these 2 medleys. This is what I'd say. So Walking to Memphis, and then go watch, and I don't care which one you watch. We did Zeppelin medleys. We did one in E and one in
Oh,
the key of A. Because Zeppelin, so much of the blues stuff is,
yeah,
they got like 20 songs in E and
yeah,
20 songs in A.
yeah, totally,
And so I
totally.
created these medleys in each key. And so I think they're called, what are they called? Zeppelin. I don't know. Anyways, they're labeled by their key.
By the
So it's
key.
something in E, something in A. Either one of those is Roger, and Jessica sings all the Robert Plant stuff. But Roger, the guitar player, I mean, it's just wild. You know,
Wow.
the one in E, you know, it's got communication breakdown
Yeah.
solos and Whole Lot of Love, and
Yeah.
you know, anyways, they're both great. So check out our medleys, the Zeppelin medleys, Walking in Memphis. Obviously the yacht rock stuff, let's skip that because everybody's going to see those. I'm trying to
Yeah.
go deeper cuts.
Yeah.
Again, the Lionel Richie tune, You Are, is phenomenal. And I'll give you two more. I love Double Vision. We did Foreigner's Double
Oh,
Vision.
great
That's
tune.
an older one. I love it. I think it's great.
Great tune.
So if we're digging deeper into the back sets, and then I would say, go watch one of our U2 covers. It's from the
Oh.
first year. It's from the first year. And Jonathan, this young guy, was playing guitar on it, and he just nails it.
Oh.
And like Pride, go watch Pride in the Name of Love,
Wow.
or With or Without You. One of those two. Those are songs I grew up on,
Yeah.
and so singing those and then having him nail all the edge parts were pretty cool.
Yeah, nobody's covering these tunes
Yeah.
that you're mentioning. Nobody does
Yeah,
these.
yeah. So those are old.
Wow.
That's an old video. That's from our first year, U2. I'd say that's a really good place to go.
Did you guys ever get around to doing Hot Blooded?
Oh yeah,
Warner?
yeah. We did Hot Blooded.
You have it up there?
Yeah, Hot Blooded, Feels Like the First Time, Double Vision, Waiting for a Girl Like You, and Cold as Ice.
Oh, great
Did all
tunes.
those.
Hot Blooded's got probably my favorite Foreigner guitar solo because
Yeah,
it's so weird. It's got all
I
that
think Dale
weird
did
stuff
really
in
good
it.
on that one. Dale, he was the guy that played originally a lot, the guitar player. He crushed those Foreigner videos. Those are great. And then, of course, our Steely Dan episodes. I don't know if you've seen any of those, but we did 5 Steely Dan tunes originally. We've done a 6th one since. But full horn section, background vocals, like Kid Charlemagne. You should go watch Kid Charlemagne.
I've not seen you guys do Steely Dan,
Yeah,
and
you should
they're
go watch
my
when we hang
favorite.
up. You should go watch Kid Charlemagne.
Oh my
We, I
gosh.
think you'll be surprised at how good everybody played. It's pretty impressive. That was the session. That was in our 2nd year, and I actually gave everybody 6 months on that one. I said, "Here's the
Nice.
5 songs. We'll see you in 6 months."
Prepare.
Because I just didn't know. And when we did that, we did 5 tunes, and I was like, okay, we can do this. Like, we can take on things that are more than Aerosmith or Journey, or not that they're not great. Don't get me wrong, but you can master those songs with a little bit of work and talent pretty quickly.
Yeah. Steely
Dan's a
Dan
whole lot.
is no
Background
joke.
vocals, background vocals.
No
The girls crush it.
What
And
up-
again,
what songs did you do for Steely Dan? I'm dying to
okay.
know what you did.
Peg, Black Friday, Kid Charlemagne, My Old School, and Josie.
Great. Nice collection.
Yeah, and on that one, I used the horns more liberally than the studio recordings. So we took the studio recording as it was, and then I took the live horn stuff that they did, horn section stuff they did, and put it on top. So like on Peg, there's a horn section, which is not in the studio recording, right? But I was like, I'm going to do. They're here that add, So we kind of took the studio recording and then added their live elements to it. But
Man, if you guys ever get around to doing Deacon Blues in Asia,
yeah.
those two are the
So Asia's on my bucket list.
that's killer.
Of course, it's 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
But the other one we did more recently with a different lineup was Reeling in the Years. We did that one more recently.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what that episode was. Stranglehold, Reeling in the Years, Ramblin' Man, Allman Brothers, and Molly Hatchet. That was one night.
My God,
Right?
that's so
And
eclectic.
but it was based on the 2 guitar players and their
Right.
ability to play all that stuff, right?
Right.
Right? So it was just based on that I based that episode on the guitar players, and then we moved the vocals around. Roger did some, and I did some.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was trying to think of that fourth song, and that's what
Yeah,
it
that
was.
was it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I got a fun question for you, and I haven't
Yeah,
asked if you've watched any of my interviews.
yeah.
I'd love to know if you could sit down with somebody and have dinner with them, living or dead.
Mhm.
Who would that one person be that you got to have this intimate dinner with and just chat with them for a few hours?
Musician, I take it.
It
I
could
would
be
imagine.
anybody,
Yeah,
actually.
I'm gonna stick with musician.
Yeah,
Um, man, my answer. I know what my answer is, but you never want to meet your heroes.
I
Like that's.
know. I
I
know.
hate to almost say it because I don't want to meet my heroes, and
Be disappointed.
but the most influential, and I referenced it earlier. The most influential musician for me is Sting. Okay, because
Wow.
I grew up.
Oh my
Again, I grew
gosh.
up from the time I was 4 when they released their first album in
Yeah.
'79. My brother, that's what my brother was listening to.
Yeah.
So I remember the stereo he played it on. I remember the
Yeah.
LPs. I remember it all. And I remember buying the cassette of their greatest hits when I was,
Hmm.
like 8 or 9.
Yep.
And then as I began to mature as a musician, or my ear at least, and I told you I listened to a lot of hair metal, and I did, and that's what all my friends were into.
Yeah.
But on the side, I was also buying Sting albums and
Yeah.
U2 albums, and just so his solo career up until probably Brand New Day. After Brand
Yeah.
New Day, I kind of was like,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
I
Yep.
don't need to. I don't. And I get why he did it. He was bored, but he just
Yeah.
experimented a lot.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you what, Soul Cages. If
Oh my
you,
God.
I mean, that's that album.
Yeah.
I remember just even that was when I was in high school, and I just remember like being moved by
He
it, not
was
even knowing why.
he was
And,
deep
and it was
in
because his dad had died.
that
But I
was a
didn't know
deep
that. I didn't.
album.
I just remember listening to it, going, I'm getting chills thinking about it now. But beautiful, but still pop, right? But but still pop, right? There's elements of classical, and like, of course, Dominic Miller, his guitar player, came in at
Yeah,
that
he's
time.
great.
Anyways, and then of course, Ten Sumner's Tales is probably one of
Yeah.
the best pop,
Yeah.
mature pop albums
Yeah.
out there. Every song on that. So if I could talk to anybody, it'd probably be him, just to talk through. I'd want to know all the stories of the band, and the
Yeah.
like, what was it like to be in like a three-piece band playing clubs, and then what was it like having all the resources in the world, and the the
Yeah.
the ability to reach out and go, I want these jazz players to come in
Yeah.
and make Dreams of the Blue Turtles. And like, how
Yeah.
did you, like, what he's just so interesting.
Yeah.
He's um I don't know. I just even though I don't love some of his later stuff,
Yeah.
I still, anytime he comes around, I'm gonna go see him. In fact, I just saw him a month ago with Billy Joel in Indianapolis.
Oh, wow.
It was just a trio. It was great. It was him and a guitar player and a drummer.
Really?
And yeah, it was
How
great.
much police stuff did he do for that
About
gig?
half, about
Okay.
half.
Wow.
It was interesting to hear some of his solo stuff in a trio setting.
Yeah.
I had a very police vibe, even though it was his solo stuff.
Yeah.
So that would be who I would talk to. The For me, I love to see bands live. I don't listen to music much anymore. Like, I don't. I was an album guy. I'd put a CD in and listen to it driving or whatever. So I don't listen, but I like to go see stuff live all the time. And like Stevie Wonder's the only guy probably left that I haven't seen in person, that I probably would pay what it would take to go if I
Yeah.
could.
If you ever want to get that magic back, get into vinyl, because
I know,
I started
yeah,
doing that,
yeah,
and a buddy of mine comes over, and he brings his vinyl over, and
yeah,
we make a night of it, and we play the albums and sit there, listen to it, and it
yeah.
takes me right back.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah,
It is so
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Yeah, I was the generation, I laugh, you see this stuff on social media, memes or whatever they call them, but
Yeah.
I'm the generation that went from vinyl to cassette to CD to streaming, like all in one, you know what I mean? Like all
Yeah,
in like one. Like I didn't have an extended period of time in any of them,
I
right? Like
know.
it was when I was real little, my brothers were on vinyl, and then I was a cassette kid, and then
Yeah.
CDs came in high school, and then it's like I don't have a medium, you know.
Yeah,
It's like
right.
what? So, but yeah, I don't know. That Sting would be it. I'd love to hear Stevie Wonder live. I don't know. That's
Oh,
where I would be.
that's a great one. That would
My
be
guy.
amazing. The stories he would
Yeah,
tell. I mean,
yeah,
what a full life. I think
yeah,
about these musicians, for me, it'd be David Bowie. I'm such an admirer of his
yeah,
stuff. And just to think about this guy's life experience, like
yeah,
Sting, I mean, how different
yeah,
his life is from mine or yours. We're
yeah,
on the same
yeah.
planet,
Yes.
musicians and everything,
Jeez.
but the path they
But
took.
but you know what's cool about him? I don't. Have you seen the Luther documentary that CNN did? Luther Vandross.
No.
Okay, if you have I think you can see it on HBO
Okay.
Max or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm Bowie's ahead of my time, so
Hmm.
I don't know a lot of Bowie
Right.
stuff,
Right.
right? Like
Yeah.
he's a little ahead of my time. But Luther and like whatever group he was in were the Young
They were
Americans.
the backup
Yeah,
singers.
and he was so open to them
Yep.
to say what like, and they like wrote a lot of that behind the
He's like,
scenes.
tell me what
Yeah,
I
and
need
he's
to
like the
do.
biggest dude in the world at that time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the type of guy, like
That's
that's why those guys are so
exactly
successful
right.
because they're open.
Yep.
It's
Totally.
not they're not like this is my song and like you
Yeah.
better,
I know
you know.
better than anybody
No,
attitude.
he was
It's like,
so open to them and
give
that would
me.
not
Yeah.
that song would be okay,
Yeah.
but it has soul that only because he was open,
Yeah.
even as the just a guy that could have had anything he wanted. You
Yeah.
know, this is my record. You do it my way. You know, and I'm sure it was the same way if we saw a documentary on when he let Nile Rodgers come in and
Yeah.
produce.
Exactly.
I'm sure it was just Nile, you do your thing,
Yeah.
like to these
Totally.
songs. You know, which is so cool. You know that they're not too full of
Well,
themselves
he
that they're
knew
not
he was
willing
not
to.
the expert on Black American
Yeah,
soul music, so it's an
yeah,
Englishman, a Brit
yeah,
coming over. He's not
yeah,
going to tell
yeah,
Luther Vandross what to do.
yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
feed me.
Yes,
What?
yeah,
Tell me.
yeah,
I love this music, so help me to
yeah,
understand how
yeah.
to do
Yeah.
it. You know.
Yeah, well, that
Oh,
was a really cool part of that documentary that I just didn't know.
oh,
I
man,
had
I
no
got to check
idea.
that out.
Yeah, it's really
Oh
cool.
my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so here's a question for you, and
Okay,
you might take a couple of moments
that's
to
fine. I'm a
answer this.
rambler.
What are you most grateful for in your life right now?
Oh, I mean, it's my family, it's my kids, my family.
Yeah.
My son's a sophomore in college studying jazz.
Oh, wow.
I'm so happy for him and proud of him, but have no idea what he's gonna do for a living.
Yeah. Yep.
He loves drums and he loves jazz, and
Yeah.
it's just I'll tell you the reason I say my kids, because my daughter plays bass, she plays upright, she plays electric.
Yeah.
She's told me it's breaking my heart, but she's like, Dad, you know, when I leave high school, I probably won't play ever again. And I'm like, oh, you know,
No. How old is she?
she's seven. Well, yeah, she's 17.
Oh,
She plays upright in the jazz
no.
band. She's so good, but she just doesn't, she likes it, but she doesn't love it,
I get it. I
but
get
she's
it.
so gifted. But the reason I say grateful for, I mean, when I can watch my kids play music,
Oh, man.
it's a spiritual
Yeah.
thing.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's, I mean, now I get it. You know, my parents were both musicians too. Now I understand when they watched us boys.
Right.
I get it.
What they're
You
feeling.
know, yeah. And the fact that the easy answer is your family, but what I'm most grateful for is that my kids and I and my wife. I mean, she loves music too, but we connect on something that's
Yeah.
so
Right.
part of who I am.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So I'm
Yeah.
just grateful we have that connection. You know, I'm
That's
just grateful we
awesome.
have that connection. So they're good kids. They give me trouble like anybody else's, but um,
That's their job, Mike.
yeah, I know. So yeah, it's family and the music tie, I think.
Yeah.
You know, it's generational for my family, so that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. I think my daughter will keep playing. I think she's just giving me a hard time, but but yeah, there's just something neat to go watch your kids.
That's
do
amazing.
so well at something that you love,
Yeah.
and you feel like it's part of who you are,
Yeah, you're like, that's in the genes. That came
Yeah, you
down from
pass it
me.
on.
That came down from me.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
it's pretty
man.
cool.
All right, here's a lighter question.
No, you're
If you could slip into any group, like be whatever, because you're a multi-instrumentalist, you could
Yeah.
choose whatever instrument it is. If like whoever it was drop dead tomorrow and then they're like, hey,
Yeah.
we need you. Who would
Yeah.
what band or what group would this be for you?
I wouldn't be able to do it, but we talked about this right out of the gate, but I would play bass for Tower Power.
Oh
No
man.
question. No
Oh
question. I
yeah,
mean, I
baby.
remember my high school band director had Back to Oakland on a
Yeah.
CD
Oh man.
in his office.
Oh
And
yeah.
he's like, you need to listen to that. I'm like, that's this stupid stuff, I'd put it in and head up down the road, that
Yeah.
the
Oh my
Oakland stroke.
God.
And I'm like, what?
Oh
And
my
then
God.
Squib Cakes comes on
Squib
and
cakes.
you're like,
Squib cakes.
wait
Yeah.
a minute, wait a minute. What? Like,
Unbelievable.
and then, halfway through that song, there is the organ,
Yeah.
Chester Thompson on the organs playing pedals and bass,
Yeah.
I'm like, what? So yeah, I've seen them probably 5 or 6 times,
Yeah.
and Mark, the new guy, is phenomenal.
Oh, really?
Oh
I've
yeah,
not
he's
seen
great.
him yet. I
Oh,
saw them with Jocko, with
Rocco, yeah.
Rocco.
No,
No, I've seen him a lot, and I've seen him
yeah,
with Rocco,
yeah.
and
So
absolutely
I
mind blowing.
saw them 2 or 3 years ago with Garibaldi was still there. He's since retired. But Mark, he's a Dutch guy, but he's from the Bay Area. But he played awesome. He was good. They were as good. They were as good 2 years ago. And I started going to see them in the mid '90s. They were as good or better than I've ever seen them. I mean, now Garibaldi was still there, and he's since gone. But his playing those songs. I mean, there's nobody like them. They're not just a soul band or not just a fun. They carved out a niche because Garibaldi's playing. There's nobody plays drums like him. There's nobody plays bass like Rocco. There's no horn section like those guys. The songs are really out there. They're not just ABA. Like the vocals. I mean, they all these harmonies, and you go see them live, and the
Yeah.
trumpet players singing harmony, and they're
Yeah.
playing and singing harmony.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I could if I slid in anywhere and had the ability, I'd go out with Tower
Oh,
Power, like no question.
yeah.
Either
It's
them, either them or Earth, Wind and Fire on bass.
the
Either one on
same
bass. I mean,
ilk. Yeah.
those are the
Same kind
those are
of
the
thing.
bass seats for me. Those are the bass,
Yeah.
like
Wh-
Verdine and Rocco are
Yeah.
it
When you
for me.
play, you would want to play bass in that one too,
Oh
right?
yeah, 100%,
Oh my
hundred
gosh.
percent. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, those are good picks, man.
yeah,
That would be amazing. I might have to agree with you on that for me too, because it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
those songs and hearing those guys, like you're saying, it's no other group achieved what they did. And when you hear Rocco and Dave on those
Oh
tracks, there's no better rhythm section on the
no,
face of the planet than those
no.
two guys.
Yeah, there's no downbeat, but
Yeah,
you always
yeah.
know where the backbeat is. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like
Well, it's
it doesn't.
crazy because like
Yeah,
analyzing like some, and you'll know this because you're a drummer, a lot of what Dave did was a lot of paradiddle stuff
yeah,
all over the kit. Bucket,
yeah,
taka, bucket, taka, bucket. And that
yeah,
was the drum beat
yeah, yeah,
as a paradiddle pattern.
yeah,
And I'm like, oh my guy's doing paradiddles all over the place. This is
yeah,
insane. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's what a great band. I mean, they're just inspiring. Like that. There's some bands that just they inspire you. You hear them and you go, and that's the TOPs and the Steely Dans and the Earth, Wind and Fires and the Pink Floyds. Like these bands are just they're bigger than even their sound. Like they're so unique and inspiring. Even if it's like Pink Floyd's not my jam, but when I hear a Pink Floyd song, I'm like, wow, that's that's crazy. What? Yeah. Anyways,
How did
yeah,
you come? Yeah, how did you come up with
yeah,
this? It's mad.
yeah,
There's magic, and these
yeah,
certain groups just have that magic,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, that's
Very
that.
cool.
Great picks, man. Great picks.
Yeah.
So looking at the future
Uh huh.
of the band, like where do you see yourselves in the next 2 years, 5 years, going down the road? Are you thinking like, we're just gonna stay status quo, keep doing what we're doing? Do you have like these ideas of like, maybe we can add this to it or switch it up? I mean, you got to think of those things before you're
Yeah,
falling asleep at night,
I know. I know. That's the part that I wouldn't say I'm like embarrassed by, but we've just never really sat down and gone, what's next?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything that's been next for us has been presented to us, and it's just like, oh, I guess that's what we're gonna do.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're the most open, flexible project, I think, in regards to that. What makes it difficult to dream in the future is that so many people are involved. It's if it was just five or six of us and we could go, what do we want to do? We started going out. We got so many requests. Um, I put together nine of us. We just started this last year. Maybe I think this is our second full year of doing it, but we'll go out and we'll do corporate like charity events or private things. So we'll do three or four of those a year.
Those are like 3 hour gigs for you guys?
About two, usually a 2 hour gig. We'll agree to a 2 hour gig, and we do our bread and butter. It's 70s and
Okay.
80s guitar driven.
Gotcha.
So it's been a little difficult because people see all 300 videos and they go, well, I want you to do these songs. Well,
Yeah.
here's the 30 songs we do.
Yeah, it don't work that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been something we've been trying to maybe just get out and continue to raise our profile. Because often it's one or two people that love us that go, we want, like we just went down to, it's called Spring Island, but it's near Hilton Head, and it's a private residential island, and they have a concert series every Wednesday night in the summer. So or in the winter, they've had Chuck Leavell, who played keys, for Skinner and all that. They had Orianthi. I don't know if you know
Oh yeah,
Orianthi.
the
They
girl?
had her. They had
Yeah,
her a month ago.
guitar player. Yeah.
Albert Lee.
Oh, he's
They
great.
probably well, so somebody on the island loves us and was like, "You need to bring this band in." So we went
Wow.
down there and played on a Wednesday night to 200 people. They loved us. Most of them had never heard of us. They loved
Wow.
it.
And
So we're like, okay.
how far is that from you guys?
That was a 9 hour drive.
Okay.
I drove down with three guys with all the equipment and then flew the rest of them down.
Gotcha.
But that was cool because we got 150 new fans out
Yeah.
of it basically,
Yeah.
who then share it with other people. So we've
Yeah.
done a little bit of that. That's been the new experiment, is to go, is that going to help us?
Yeah.
We're coming to Tucson in November
Oh,
to
really?
play a veterans first responders charity
Oh, very
on
cool.
Veterans Day weekend.
You got to fly out for that one.
Yeah, they're flying us out, which
Yeah.
is cool. Leonid has done that one before.
Oh, wow.
And so they're bringing us in because they don't want to use Leonid every year.
Yeah.
So we're doing a few things, but we don't really want to do public events because again, we're not touring. Like we're not.
Right.
So it's either charity involved or a private thing.
The low-hanging fruit.
Yeah,
Doing a tour
yeah,
is tough,
yeah.
and
We got jobs. I mean, we
logistic.
can't.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah, we
work,
can't do
man.
it.
Yeah.
So that's a new like wing that we're experimenting with. So, but as far as the YouTube side of it, man, the only thing I could think is if we could find a rhythm to release every week. I mean, that would be the goal. Um, to do that, I probably am gonna, if that's a goal. I mean, I don't know that it is, so I'm not saying it is. But if to do that, I've got to find somebody that can do some of the lifting on the editing and the mixing. And my friend, they'll know when they watch this, they'll be like, "There's no way he'll ever do that."
I know.
Like I'm not a control freak other than I am on this because
Yeah.
there's just so many people involved and there's just so much, I don't know.
It's not
Yeah.
only that too.
Yeah.
It's also that you are not wanting to, the amount of work, so
Yeah.
you don't want to burden somebody else with their
Yeah.
family and
Yeah.
in their
Yeah.
life with it, but
Yeah.
you'll take the hit. This is your baby.
Yeah.
It's like
Hmm.
I'll stay up late at night. I'll do the
Yeah.
work. To
Yeah.
give it to somebody else, it's a hard thing to do because you're
Yeah.
giving them a burden to a certain extent too, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just hard. yeah, it'd just be hard for me not to give constant feedback. You know what I mean? And it
Yeah.
ended up being somebody just looking at me going, just do it
Just do it.
yourself. So I
Oh
can say
no.
that they all love me, they'll laugh at me, you know, the
Yeah.
control side of it. But I'm kind of I'm the father figure of the whole thing. You know,
Yeah.
I just kind of lead people along, and I try and get people involved as much as possible at
Yeah.
every level. But when it comes down to the mix and the edit,
But
I just
I mean, the
it
thing
just
is that for the groups that are working that are doing similar to what you're doing,
yeah,
that's the way it is at all the other groups.
yeah, yeah,
Khan is
yeah,
the man. It's the
yeah,
same type of thing.
yeah, yeah,
Leonid is the
yep.
guy.
He's the man. Yeah,
It's the same thing because
yeah.
that's kind of what has to happen in order for it to work. You got to
Yeah,
have it,
yeah,
you
for
know?
sure, for sure. We were just talking about this last week because I played in a ton of cover bands over the years here in town, and one of them, a bunch of my friends are still in, but I ended up pulling out of. This was 10 years ago or so, because there just wasn't anybody in charge,
Yeah.
and I
Yep.
was like, listen, I don't have to be in charge, but somebody's got to be in
Somebody's got to
charge.
do it.
I don't enjoy environments that are democracies of
Yeah.
music.
It doesn't
I just
work.
I just don't like it. And again, I'm happy to be in charge, but if I'm not, somebody's got to be in charge, or I just
Yeah.
don't enjoy it.
And they got to
So,
be good too,
yeah, yeah.
because
So
otherwise
that's, yeah.
it'll be
So,
grueling. It's be like that.
so for me, it's there has to be a pecking order, or it just becomes just issues arise, So, yeah. What's funny I was thinking about this before we got here, Leonid and Hindley Street, and maybe like the classic rock show out of England, and us, and I don't know if there's another one or two out there. You probably know of a few more. What's funny about Leonid and Hindley Street and us is we're all led by bass players.
I know.
I don't play bass a lot in our videos,
Yeah.
but like I was trying to get Khan to do a collaboration when they were in the States for
Yeah.
a tour, and he was totally agreeable to it, but they didn't come close to us.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's going to play bass in my mind?
I know. Like Spinal Tap, three
Yeah, but
bass
it's funny
players.
how all these bass players love to lead this stuff,
It's so
Um,
true. I thought the same
yeah,
thing. I was like,
yeah,
wait a minute. There's
yeah.
something to this. The bass
Yeah,
players are
yeah. It's the
like the
bass
leaders.
players unite. Yeah, it's funny. So there's a lot of bass player jokes out there, but
That's
bass
funny.
players are being represented strong on
Yeah.
YouTube right now.
Oh
So
my gosh.
yeah,
Oh man. Well, Mike, this has just been a blast, dude, and I thank you so
yeah,
much for your openness
yeah,
and letting everybody hear
yeah,
about your process and all of that, because I know
yeah.
people are going to be super interested in hearing everything that you had to say, man, and I
Well,
totally appreciate it.
hey, well, let me just extend to you from the hundreds of people that have been involved in our project. It's really cool that I get to send out your videos to our crew, and they get to hear you talk about their performance,
Mm.
and and you're always, I mean, you're just so encouraging. Like I can't I can't even, I've you're sometimes too generous, I think, probably for us, but it's really, really neat what you do. It 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 doesn't just provide a service to your viewers, it provides a service to like me as a band leader,
Mhm.
because I can say, hey, somebody cared enough about what you did
Yeah,
to review it
yeah,
and to pick out the different parts, and
yeah.
so you're doing me a service by giving me something that I can use to encourage the musicians and all the
Oh,
effort they've put in. Does that make
oh man,
sense? So
yeah.
so
Oh, that's
man,
awesome. Thank you.
I keep doing it, do it for as many different bands as you can, and I like to I laugh because people get on again very rarely, and
Yeah.
I'm sure the other guys would say the same. Well, this band's better than this band, or have you heard this
Yes.
band? And man, my response to them is always, well, we know each other. I've been in a room with Leonid, and I've been on the phone with
Yeah.
Khan on direct messages, and like we know each other, and
Yeah.
there's enough room for all of us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like like YouTube's big enough for us all.
There's no
Like
competition. There's a lot of
no,
camaraderie, which is what I really
hundred
love.
percent,
Yeah, I
100%.
love
And we do a
that.
lot of the same songs, and it's like, dude, they killed that. And
Yeah.
man, I wish we would have done it that well, or vice
Yeah.
versa. So there's, man, the more we can elevate each other, and
Yeah.
you're doing more of that than we are able to. So We just appreciate you, and I appreciate you letting me talk and ramble. I just love to talk about
Oh,
music and
fascinating
life and
to
all
hear.
that. And man, I'll just keep watching your stuff, and we'll keep putting out videos over here. Maybe give you something to review, and maybe
Yeah,
one
man.
day you'll be like, this isn't up to par. Get better, you know. Well, we I can tell you one thing: we enjoy everyone we do. You
Yeah,
know, regardless if it ends up being people's favorite or not, we enjoy it.
yeah,
And again, it's really cool that it gives you an opportunity to kind of connect with us and keep track of us, and we'll keep putting
definitely.
stuff out, and you keep reviewing it, and we'll just keep chugging along,
Yeah,
man.
I hope to see you guys live sometime. I might have to come out to
Yeah.
Kentucky
Oh
to do it
man.
if you guys aren't.
Well, you'd get the red carpet if you come out,
I'd
so
love
so
that,
we
man.
can make that happen, man.
Oh
We can
man,
make it happen.
that's
So
awesome, brother. All right, well, man, keep in touch, and
we'll do
yeah,
it.
I'm gonna try to get this up as soon as I can. I'm gonna work on it this weekend, so I'll try
Awesome.
not to make you wait too long.
Oh, it's all good, man. Thanks, Jeff.
All right,
Appreciate you,
thanks,
man.
man. We'll
Yep.
see you. See you
Yep.
later.